Divide Et Impera remains one of the best mods for Rome 2 in 2024, and here I'll give you my reasons as to why you need to download this mod. And if you try Rome 2 for the first time, then this mod basically makes Rome 2 into a living, breathing world full of ancient splendor and antiquity, and it's just a really fantastic mod. So without a doubt, let's begin. It's very historically accurate, and it throws you into a great and almost diverse tapestry of the classical world. You will see this that when you fight different factions against each other, each have their own unique armor sets, their own unique colors, and you will have, let's say, the sun-baked Mediterranean Spartans to the cold, hard, stoic, barbarian tribes. You will have a differentiation between these factions. Many of these unit rosters are historically researched, and cities and battlefields also will reflect the architectural and geographical nuances of their locations. So that basically allows you to be immersed. So say if you chose Rome, or if you chose Egypt, or if you chose any city, you do get an historical script. You also get historical scripts that tell you what's happening in the classical world as of that time. It really does feel as if you're part of this world. Now, some of the mods I'm using are DEI submods, such as you will see this that when you fight different factions against each other, each have their own unique armor sets, their own unique colors, and you will have, let's say, the sun-baked Mediterranean Spartans to the cold, hard, stoic, barbarian tribes. You will have a differentiation between these factions. Many of these unit rosters are historically researched, and cities and battlefields also will reflect the architectural and geographical nuances of their locations. So that basically allows you to be immersed. So say if you chose Rome, or if you chose Egypt, or if you chose any city, you do get an historical script. You also get historical scripts that tell you what's happening in the classical world as of that time. It really does feel as if you are part of this world. Now, some of the mods I'm using are DEI submods, such as Alternative Campaign Experience, DEI Persian Glory, Achaemenid Restoration, Stronger Rome, Slower Battles, and a whole bunch of other submods. Also, do check out He Was a Council of Rome submod as well. Now, all of this is meant to showcase that Divide Et Impera isn't just one single overhaul mod. There are plenty of submods for you to tailor your experience. If you don't like the hardcore difficulty of DEI, then you can download submods that sort of alleviate it, so that you're able to play a much more streamlined Divide Et Impera experience. But the main point is, there's not a mod like Divide Et Impera out there that goes above the scale to showcase you different units, different rosters, and also has different campaigns as well. You've got the Mithratic Wars, you have Alexander, you have the Macedonian Wars, which I think they should have all been DLC, like really proper DLC for Rome 2. It's covered areas where you wouldn't normally expect the campaign to go. And I've been with Divide Et Impera since 2014, well, maybe 2013, 2014, but around Rome 2's launch, I've been covering or following more or less where Divide Et Impera has come from. From what I remember, Divide Et Impera started as more or less a battle overhaul, and it has now become this huge encompassing mod that overhauls every aspect from Rome 2, from the campaign, from logistics, from every single aspect here right now. Divide Et Impera is that mod that will have you playing for hundreds and hundreds of hours. And let's go to our second part, where we have strategic mastery. That is, where every denarius will count, and every ounce of your strategy will also count as well. So basically, you don't have mindless conquest anymore. The AI is reactive, because this mod does demand strategic competence. It demands strategic brilliance. It demands you to manage your populations, to control the flow of resources, and you have to navigate, of course, with the political system that is in place. You can sort of more or less tailor it to your own needs. It's all integral to your success, but you also have to manage civil wars. You have to make sure that you're not just investing in sanitation alone, right? If you invest in sanitation, that increases public order. If you don't involve investment in sanitation, then rebellions and, let's say, lack of food, lack of shortage is going to be a problem, And you can also give your treasury a ton of money through ruthless taxation. You can do that. But is it the right choice? You have to forge alliances with kingdoms and city-states, or will you crush them before they even have a chance to burgeon and become that great power that will become a rival to you? All these choices make an impact through a campaign. And you weave that narrative, that story of you playing Rome or Numidia or Macedon, and you basically dominate. You become this economic prowess. But to become a powerful leader within Divide Et Impera, to establish your empire, is not that easy. You have to have a look at what is the strategic mastery. What is the way you're going to dominate your campaign? And there are different ways, different tutorials on how to play countless Divide Et Impera campaigns. Divide Et Impera is just brilliant when it comes to the campaign mindset. It's a reason why I play this mod every so dare and often. It nearly took them 3 hours just to finish that battle off, right? At one point, I think Divide Et Impera did focus a lot on too much realism, where battles took hours and hours and hours to fight. Now, that is a byproduct of my memory from maybe 7 years ago or whatever it is. However, you have to flank when you're fighting this battle. If you're fighting a battle against Romans, against XYZ, flank, flank, flank. If you have 3 archers or 3 missiles, focus on firing on 1 unit at a time, so that you can get rid of XYZ. These maneuvers are very important. You can play historically accurate as you want, playing as Romans, or you can play different. You also have to make sure that skirmishers are really important. Any infantry unit that has skirmish, that has a missile mode, is very, very important. You want to get the overall tactical advantage when you're playing this. Cavalry charges can basically destroy enemy flanks. And if you get cavalry charges behind the enemy, that is behind their ranks, if you win the cavalry fight, it's really, really good. I just think there's a ton of unique animations, there's a ton of unique units and rosters, so battlefields take some time. For those of you that might be experimenting with this and you've seen these large unit sizes and you're thinking, how am I going to fight a battle? Don't worry, Divide Et Impera gets you immersed into it within the very first starting stages of, let's say, the battlefield. But if you're playing sieges, if you're playing, let's say, minor town defenses, it will take some time to get used to. Main thing is that the combat is, I believe, for me that is focused on the archers, the missiles. If your missiles and archers have a variety, have a superiority, then they can decimate the enemy. It's just a matter of time and patience. Many of the battles are like a game of chess, and you have to be very, very patient. So it's a banquet of warfare that demands tactical competence and really choosing the right moment of opportunity and advantage. And so let's have a look at the replayability. Dozens of thousands of historically accurate factions. There's so let's have a look at the replayability. The replayability of Divide Et Impera means not one campaign is always the same. It means that if I played the Numidians, I could decide to either go attack Carthage, or I could decide to go and attack another faction. If I want to have a new path for Rome, I can do that. Or can I defy fate as the indomitable Gauls that had to face Roman aggression? Divide Et Impera really does play into the replayability factor of allowing alternate history routes. And You could rewrite history as the ambitious Parthians or defend Carthage. But here's the question. Doesn't every other mod offer the same thing, more or less? Well, yes, that is Rome 2. Rome 2 is basically an alternate giant sandbox game. It's alternate history. Rome 2 is actually alternate history because you can fight in many different ways. You have submods that allow you to play in different ways as well. There are submods that focus on realism. There are submods that focus on historical accuracy. So finally, let's just conclude on this. If it weren't for the modders of Divide Et Impera, I don't think Rome 2 would be that big as it is as for today. It's the modders that have added a huge amount of content. They refined it, they're fixing bugs every so often, they're adding new campaigns, and they're trying to make sure that that experience, that Rome 2 Antiquity experience that we want, we have. They're trying to make it fresh and exciting. Their Discord is buzzing with lively discussions with a huge amount of players. You can share strategies, you can have a look at their tutorials for modding or whatever it is. There are brilliant tales of epic campaigns to be told and discussed. Divide Et Impera has some of the best YouTubers covering it, like Immersoholic and Toxwork. They do some absolutely excellent content when it comes to showcasing Divide Et Impera. This is not just a game by itself. It's a modding, living community that basically is having a shared love for this ancient world and they're bringing it to life. That's what it is. It combines tactical brilliance and it combines historical accuracy. Divide Et Impera also does have challenges. It's not the most perfect mod out there, and sometimes the learning curve will be steep. You will have systems that demand your full attention. You will have moments where the enemy AI is attacking you so hard there's nothing you can do. And there is performance issues here and there. That depends on your rig. You can still talk to the modders at the Divide Et Impera Discord and try and see how to tailor your rig so that you're able to play a smoothless Divide Et Impera campaign. But, if you want Divide Et Impera, it's a fantastic mod. So at the end, all I'll say is this. If you're a history buff of Rome period, if you love classical history, and you're doing a course at university right now based on history, then Divide Et Impera is an absolutely fantastic mod. If you're a lover of the Roman period, and you absolutely like it, then Divide Et Impera, absolutely great. And if you love strategy gaming, and you're looking for a new experience in the Total War universe, then buy Rome 2 and play Divide Et Impera. Plus, you don't need that much DLC for it. Divide Et Impera, it's by itself is thousands of hours of content just by itself. If you want the most authentic, the most rewarding yet frustrating, yet challenging, yet overcoming the obstacles experience, then Rome 2 and Divide Et Impera combined together is just that. You buy Rome 2, download Divide Et Impera. It's a chance to rewrite history of the glorious factions of Rome and Greece, even of the desert factions, even of Parthia, the Sassanids, you name it, alright? So don't forget to leave a like, share, comment and subscribe. And as for the YouTubers, check out Immersoholic, check out Toxberg, who are running some great, fantastic videos on their channel for DEI. And yeah.